Alright guys, we're going to be talking about a new and different Yngwie Malmsteen model. I actually have one other versions of these, or one other of this version, I guess, rather. This is the Yngwie Malmsteen Standard. So officially these were made from 91 to 93, although I did see they were advertised from 1990 to 1994 in the Fender Frontline catalogs. These are quite a bit different than your normal Yngwie model, because these were supposed to be more closely representing to his duck, although they're still a pretty far cry from that. I think the biggest thing that you'll notice with these versus pretty much any of the other signature models that actually bear his name on the headstock is that the scallops are very shallow and relatively inconsistent. So I don't know if his duck is actually like that, but these are made shallow because that's the way the duck was very shallow scallops. Although this one does have the vintage small frets too, so it's almost like playing a traditional Fender Strat, but you still have a little bit of scallop to where you're not touching the wood in a lot of areas. Well, I guess just start from the top. So the top obviously has the big headstock, has a signature on it. They use 2-string trees, since I guess the 72s really came with 2-string trees anyway. Yngwie a lot of the times removes this one. I may on this one or not, I don't know. These came with plastic nuts instead of the brass nut. This one actually has some German tuners. I don't know if these came factory, but nothing else on this guitar is modified, and there's no extra holes drilled, so they may be factory, but typically they're either Fender Japan tuners or Godos, which are made in Japan. These ones say made in Germany, but appear exactly the same as the Godo tuners or Fender Japan tuners, so it's hard to say. These ones obviously 3 bolts, so these are actually the only official Yngwie Malmsteen signature Strat that have a 3-bolt neck, so that's kind of odd. For bedroom players like myself, no big deal. If you're out there flinging the guitar around, you'll probably move your neck around, so that's why Yngwie made his 3 bolts into 4 bolts. Let's see. So tuners, got that. Boom. Okay, so pickups. Pickups are actually single coils. So again, this is definitely a different model. The only one that'll bear his name on the headstock that has single coil pickups. And these could either be made in Japan single coils or even American single coils, depending on which year and which one you got. Because they only made them for a few years, and it seems like they kind of just use whatever parts they had laying around, I guess. I don't know. This one is also the only one that, for whatever reason, they kind of made it look like a Ritchie Blackmore. So it's got all of the black pickup covers, knobs, and stuff like that. That's how they came. Not sure why they did that. Can't get any answers out of Fender specifically about it, so who knows. These also have die-cast bridge block and die-cast saddles, so it's just like the 70s. Some people hate them, some people like them. I'm kind of indifferent. They don't look as cool as the traditional stamp saddles, but I don't have a problem with them. I wouldn't spend the money to swap them out or anything like that. And the bridge block, although you can't see it, is a nice big bridge block, even though it's die cast. And you can see, I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but obviously this one is a bit of a lighter white color. Yngwie said that it's not the same color. Well, that's pretty obvious. But I guess that's more of the car colors or car paint, and this is not. I think that's really about it for this. Neck stamps inside of here will typically say ST71, or no, ST72 EX1M or EXIM, or V2 ST72 EXIM, something like that. That way you know the stamps are correct, at least from what I've seen. This one, it has a stamp on the neck, but then on the body it is actually handwritten, well, with a Sharpie anyway. The cool part about this is, I guess, is it has a 5-way switch, and since it has single coils, you get a lot more traditional Strat sounds. So this is realistically the only Yngwie model that'll give you very close to original Strat sounds, just because the pickups that are in it versus his DiMarzios or his Duncans. And yeah, that'll about do it.